Time for business. Yuka Roy joins us here in the studio. Great to see you, Yuka. Excuse me. Starting here in France, where there's been another deadly accident linked to a faulty airbag.
Well, a woman in her 30s, Mark, last week died in the city of Reims after scraping her car against the guardrail on a motorway. Authorities have now confirmed she suffered fatal injuries when an airbag made by now-bankrupt Japanese manufacturer Takata exploded upon impact and released metal shards into her face. It's the second case in mainland France on top of 17 fatalities in its overseas territories. According to French media, the victim was driving a 2014 Citroen C3, but had not received a formal recall letter from the manufacturer. The country's transport minister on Tuesday requested that all Citroen C3 and DS3 models fitted with recalled Takata airbags be taken off the road. Earlier this year, the government said more than 2.3 million cars needed to get their airbags replaced, Mark.
That is a tragic story, Yuka. Tragic story indeed. Next, the European Union is proposing a plan to phase out Russian gas.
The European Union, the EU, has been trying to end its reliance on Russian energy since the 2022 gas crisis amid the war in Ukraine. Since then, the share of Russian gas has gone down from 45% to about 19%, but Brussels is aiming for a complete phase-out. First, imports under new contracts will be banned from next January. Imports under short-term deals signed before this Tuesday will end in a year, and those under long-term contracts can continue until the end of 2027. For Hungary and Slovakia, imports under short-term contracts will also be allowed up to that date. The two eastern countries continue to import Russian gas and have been opposed to a ban. To counter their threat of veto, the Commission plans to include the ban in the EU's trade and energy law that can be passed without approval from all member states. Let's take a listen to the Energy Commissioner.
Putin has weaponized energy against us. He's blackmailed the countries. That's not a rational or sustainable situation to be in. At the same time, we are spending money buying energy where the revenue then indirectly ends up in the war chest in Kremlin, and that is not acceptable. I certainly hope that we will get all countries to support these measures. If there is a few countries that will not support, then we are still able to adopt it. Since this does not demand unanimity, we can actually adopt this with a qualified majority.
Cutting dependence on Russian fossil fuel goes hand in hand with stepping up the green energy transition. It's one of the big topics at the Paris Air Show.
Yeah, that's currently underway. It's day 2 today. Aviation is the second biggest source of greenhouse gas emissions in the transport sector. And industry giants, as well as startups, are racing to put cleaner planes in the air, including those displaying their latest technologies at Le Bourget airfield. But can flying become truly green? For the time being, solutions from electrification to biofuel to carbon capture remain experimental. France 24's Christophe Danzet and August Hackinson have this.
It's a small aircraft, but with big ambitions. Volt Aero, a hybrid plane, takes off gently, heading toward a greener future.
We want to create a revolution through evolution. The first step is to make it hybrid with a conventional takeoff, and later a fully electric or hydrogen-powered aircraft, once the technology is ready.
Volt Aero's message is clear. It's better to begin the transition now rather than wait for the perfect technology. The company is betting on a hybrid propulsion system, combining electric and internal combustion engines as a first step towards zero-emission flight. Among industry giants, the pressure is also growing to decarbonize aviation. For Airbus, efficiency is now a top priority. The company is exploring multiple paths: lighter aircraft, better aerodynamics, and most importantly, alternative fuels.
Bamboo, for example. This biomass is used to make fuel. The fuel's burnt in the engine, emitting CO2, which is then recaptured by the biomass. So we're on a cycle. That means there's zero additional CO2 emitted into the atmosphere.
Sustainable aviation fuel already used on some flights is the most credible short-term solution, but it's costly and current production remains limited. For now, green aviation is still more a promise than a reality. But at the Paris Air Show, new paths are opening and engines are firing up. for a future that may not be fully green, but one that's decidedly more sustainable.
Donald Trump's imposed travel bans on people from certain countries, but is also planning to issue premium visas to people who can afford it.
Well, it's not yet been launched, but has been touted by President Trump himself and administration officials. Now, this is an official government website for people interested in applying for this special visa dubbed the Gold Card or Trump Card. It grants unlimited residency and work rights similar to a green card, as well as a path to US citizenship. But it comes with a hefty price tag of a whopping $5 million, or rather, it's given in exchange for investment worth that much. The idea is that it will bring wealth and jobs to America. According to the Financial Times, around 70,000 people have already pre-registered to this mark.
5 million to get a chance of being a US citizen. It is an interesting concept from Mr. Trump indeed.